You're not using it, turn
Little
it
man.
off.
Little man. Hey, buddy. You having fun? I know you're with your favorite person, so have fun.
Don't fill the board. China will become economically even more.
Well, I dropped the shy one off, did a couple errands, but right now I'm here at this place, this nursery where they have fish. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up some mosquito traps. I think if we do this properly, we can really get rid of the mosquitoes. It's going to take some time, but I think it's the only way we're going to do it. We got to get rid of the damn mosquitoes, though. One of the things that's real frustrating about being here in Jamaica is I can't find simple things like this. This thing right here, this tank that they have the fish in, these, we can get these in the States anywhere, and I can't find them here anywhere. I mean, this is the only one I've seen, and this is one that they use for fish. In a lot of places in the States, they actually have a breeding program where they breed fish that are designed to eat mosquitoes. And for some reason, they don't have that here in Jamaica. I don't understand why, but we need fish. We need fish that will eat the mosquito larvae. These are just little guppy type fish. Tell you what, the people here, they're always real good to me. I not only got the fish, but I got a bunch of duckweed. And after I filled up a couple of these, she said to me, well, you want a bag or something? So, I had a big, huge bag full of duckweed. Of course, this bag's got a hole in it, so I gotta get back to the property quickly. We're gonna set up these mosquito traps. We're gonna pick up a couple of barrels and turn those barrels into these mosquito traps. We'll show you how that's done. I don't know if you guys remember, but this is where those water tanks were the other day. When I was here, I bought that water tank. The other one's gone, so I can't replace it. What I do need is a barrel or two. What I'm going to do is get one of these and just cut it in half. So we have the three parts we need. We have a barrel, we have fish, and, well, alright, you don't need the duckweed, but we have duckweed too. Alright, I'm back out here on the property, and if you take a look, it looks like we might be getting some rain. But that doesn't necessarily mean we will. The rain clouds are up here on the hills. They're there a lot. Not often do they actually make it all the way here. Doesn't matter, we're going to get these mosquito traps done. And then after we get the mosquito traps done, we'll worry about the rest. Things like this compost pile. It needs a turn and it needs a carbon cap on it. I'm actually thinking it's time I bring the mower out here and we cut this grass. This stuff hasn't been cut and it's pretty thick. We had a lot of rain this year. Our rainy season was very good this year. But if we don't do something with this grass, one of our neighbors is going to start a fire, and this stuff, as it dries out, is going to light up and burn the whole place. I've seen it happen. I want to make sure that doesn't happen, so we're going to cut a bunch of this grass, at least close to the food forest, so the fire, when, not if, but when this stuff gets lit, it won't burn the food forest. There's the plan. This barrel we cut in half. We're just going to cut this thing in half. 2 containers out of it. Well, that's ugly. And that's ugly, man. Come on.
That's ugly. I can't fix it.
But
that's all I can.
Doesn't have to be perfect. We just have to get water. It needs to hold water, enough water to put fish in it. We need to rinse these out a little bit, and yeah, we're gonna rinse these out, then position them. Now this is a slow, long-term solution to the mosquito problem. We just can't come in here and fog the place out with pesticides. For every one detrimental insect, there are 18 beneficial insects that get destroyed by pesticides. So our goal is to get rid of the mosquitoes without affecting all the good insects. We come back here to this far corner here, and we're going to set up a mosquito trap here with the last half barrel we've got. This is where the excess water flows from this cane field, and this is a periodic waterway. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's not. And we're just clearing a spot we can drop the pump in. Once we drop in the pump, we're going to fill up that half barrel and get to it. All right, this is our third trap. We're going to need more of these, but we're going to start with these 3. As the fish reproduce, we're going to take the fish out of this, move them to another one, and get that one going too. Over and over and over again until we have probably 10, maybe even 20 of these throughout the property. This will make sure every time a mosquito wants to reproduce and we've got a dry spell, they're going to come here and do it. And that's going to feed the fish. My understanding is mosquitoes are creatures of habit. They want to reproduce in the same spot. They want to lay their eggs in the same spot. So when they don't have water, let's say that this waterway here dries out, which it does a lot. They're going to have water right here that they can lay their eggs. Once they do that a few times, they're going to come here all the time, even when we've got water everywhere. I've got about 10 fish in this barrel. See if we can find them. There we go. Now, the goal is to get these fish to reproduce. They should. These things reproduce like crazy. So if all goes well, in 2 months, we'll have 100 fish in here, and I can pull a bunch of those fish out. And more importantly, the mosquitoes are going to lay their eggs in this, and these fish are going to deal with those eggs. Now, since we're out here, we're talking about these mosquitoes. There are other ways to deal with mosquitoes. All of them involve harsh chemicals. Remember, for every one pest, there's 18 beneficial insects. So we really want to find a way to get rid of the mosquitoes without killing everything else. This is the most natural way I can think of. But these barrels, I'll make sure they always have water in them, no matter what. And as long as they have water, mosquitoes are going to come here to lay their eggs. And that means the fish are going to feast on those larvae. We're never going to get the mosquitoes. Okay, now the last thing we're going to do today is turn this compost pile. We're going to put a carbon cap on it because it stinks. There's not enough carbon in it. The mix is too rich. Too much nitrogen. So we need to keep adding carbon until we get rid of that stench. And so they're going to turn this pile. Then we're going to put a carbon cap on it again and run it through, see how it does. And we're just going to keep adding some water. The more carbon we add, the drier this mix gets. So we need to add water to compensate for that. Now, we don't want to oversaturate, but we definitely want to keep it moist. Too soggy, it goes anaerobic. So we need to keep it aerobic, but we do need moisture. This pile is giving us good heat, but we've got it's too rich, too much nitrogen. I think what I'm going to have to do is next time we turn this, when we turn this on Friday, we're just going to add a ton of grass. Going to get a big bunch of grass, but look at the steam out of this pile. Hopefully adding some water and adding a good layer of carbon on the top will neutralize the nitrogen getting out. All that nitrogen, all that smell is nitrogen. Unfortunately, when you've got a real high nitrogen mix, you got to keep adding carbon until you get rid of it. The nitrogen's going to escape into the atmosphere otherwise. And you need, we need to find a way to capture that nitrogen. And the only way to do it is with increased carbon. I have to admit, I'm even a little bit stunned at how well this works. I know this carbon cap does work, but it's amazing the difference. Because when they were turning this pile, it was strong. I mean, it was strong. And even in the beginning, after they were all done turning it, you stand here, it stunk. It was really bad, the smell. We put 3 or 4 wheelbarrow fulls of wood chips right over the top and covered the whole thing with it, and it smells perfectly fine right now. I mean, I'm standing, what, 10 feet from that pile, and you don't smell it at all. It smells perfect. So, carbon cap absolutely works. We're going to be adding more and more carbon to this. Like I said, Friday, when I come out here Friday, we're going to bring the lawnmower. We're going to cut a whole bunch of this grass and create a big, huge pile of grass and add grass to this mix to try and get it more properly balanced. Because we're clearly way over nitrogen, way too much nitrogen and not enough carbon. So we need to get more carbon into this mix.